Good morning, Sag. Welcome to Eight of Cups Tarot. We're working on your first half of March tarot reading and astrology. I am changing it probably just for the month of March into two separate readings, one in the beginning and one in mid-month, because there's such a difference between the energies in early March and then the stuff that starts to happen halfway through March. And the end of March is absolutely jam-packed with activity. So the first half of the month, we're still in this kind of chill energy. I say chill because there's not a whole lot of action going on around us, but it's deeply profound emotionally and subconsciously. Mars is activating us, and Jupiter. Well, let's talk about your ruling planet, Jupiter. In fact, let's go back to the beginning, because as I'm setting up your planets, I always make a little note and just kind of check out where things are and where they're moving for you guys, and that's how I look at the energies for the month. And looking at your chart, you are loaded in the first through sixth house, and then there's not a whole lot of action. There's really no planets or anything going on through the 7th to 12th house, telling me that the period of time that you're in, what you're experiencing this first part of 2020, is deeply personal. It means that the energy is not connected to a lot of other people, right? These are things that are going on within yourself. And Sagittarius have really gone through so much. Saturn and the Saturn-Pluto conjunction in your second house, your money could have been really affected. There could have been a loss of jobs, losses in income, revenue sources being transformed. Jupiter's in there now, so maybe for some of you it helped a little bit, your ruling planet there, but your ruling planet, Jupiter, is in its fall in Capricorn. It's at its weakest, so there's an element here where you may be at your weakest. Now, that doesn't sound easy, but it's always darkest before the dawn. Usually when we're at a low place, and I don't even want to say low, I think there's a little bit of having to surrender here for Sag, who that's difficult. Because Sag doesn't want to settle down. That's not your natural tendency to settle down. But Saturn has been bringing such prolific and hard lessons to you that even a driven, ambitious, and optimistic Sag may need to sit back and say, all right, wait. I can sense there's more lessons coming. I got the hang of the Saturn thing, and I'm going to sit back and let things unfold, and I'm going to watch, I'm going to observe. That's what our job is this first half of March, is to just sit back and watch and observe and try not to react. You know, it's not to say not a lot is happening. We're coming out of a square with Pluto over this weekend, so we're confronting obsessions about our values, about who we love, some subconscious stuff. Secrets could come to the surface, feelings can bubble up. It could be really overwhelming. Venus is then going to move over and square Saturn in your second house. Well, that's a whole lot of financial garbage maybe that you have to deal with, things that you didn't realize. Venus is going to shore that up as well. But these are like the final lessons that are just really getting you ready. So congratulations, because Saturn is leaving your second house, and that could actually bring gifts between the early phases of the ingress into your third house. Saturn's not leaving you completely, but it's moving into an area of your chart where it's much more manageable. And I think when it goes to your second house, it's so profound that you learn to become friends with Saturn, right? The second house is such a profound area for Sag, for everybody, because it rules our self-esteem. It doesn't just rule what we own and our income. It rules how we feel about ourselves. It rules how we value ourselves and how we allow others to value us as well. So there's a lot of, there's major psychology in every single house. It's never just about like a sibling, or this is a house that talks about your partner and your husband or your wife. They each hold a very profound, deep psychological arena to play in. And when you have heavy hitters going through a house, I could guarantee it's not just going to be the surface stuff that gets kicked up. When Saturn and Pluto are together, I'm not sure you could get much deeper into the subconscious than that. We're talking about karma and primal instincts and transformation happening. These are such profound changes, and they happen in the way that you feel about yourself. And so as I'm explaining to all of the signs, the first half of March is really the preparation. This retrograde Mercury has really been preparing us to start to stand up as the new life starts to take form, like a baby deer that's newly born. They stand up and they walk right away, but those legs are wobbly and shaky, and they're just getting their footing. Now, you don't have a whole lot of time to spend here, which is why Neptune, the sun meeting Neptune during this Mercury retrograde, the planets are really helping you to get down deep, make the adjustments, change your mind, fix your plans, and really strengthen things up for the end of March when things start to move. It's really, really exciting. I think for my fire signs, there's also an element where you're ready to go, you feel the change coming. We're all feeling that, but the fire signs are really excited. And it's not quite happening yet. But Sag, I really do think that you're comfortable with that Saturnian feel now. You're implementing the ability to allow yourself to benefit from the pause, to benefit from the delay. I feel very sneezy right now, which means I'm very connected. So the Mercury, Sun, Neptune, all happening in your fourth house. Neptune's been there for a while. Mercury retrograde going through. You might be having there could be some decisions that you're making around moving your house, changing your house in some way, having to do with your parents, your family, childhood events, or people from your childhood may be coming back now when retrogrades. Dear Lord, talking about Mercury in retrograde. Oh man, am I stuffy. When you have this activity in your fourth house, Mercury tends to bring back people, feelings. It makes you a little bit nostalgic, and for you it's in the area of your childhood, your parents. It's also a very profound person it's a place of who you are. which is really important to understand because at the same time that Saturn's going to move into your third house. So there's Lord help me. There's an emphasis on who you are on a deeper level, that you're having to surrender to. Facts around the home in which you're having to surrender to. Maybe there's, maybe you don't want to move, but now you know you have to. And there's acceptance around it. And then Neptune could come through and it could bring an opportunity as it meets a sun, like, okay, no, you didn't want to make this move, but wait a second, here's this beautiful house, and it starts to change your mind, and it makes you maybe a little bit more optimistic about this change that you have to make. It's profound opportunity, and with Saturn moving through your third house, it's also a way in which you sort of have to start to express yourself in a much more responsible and Saturnian way. The third house could bring a lot of structure to your neighborhood and where you live. So maybe you're moving into a new apartment or condo, but the association that you're moving into has a lot of rules, or you're going to end up being active in some sort of a co-op situation. All kinds of things can happen here in which your third house, your neighborhood, and your surroundings are affected with your fourth house, how you live. So, you know, there could even be something like road construction going on, blocking your driveway. We know all kinds of nonsense here. But it's things that, little things that are changing and causing you to actually value and want some sort of discipline and dependability and strong foundations in that area of your life. Okay, I've rambled for nearly 15 minutes now, so let's start pulling your cards. Let's talk about the moons really quick while I'm shuffling. You do have a full moon coming up March 9th, and that's in your 10th house. So as we were talking about maybe the end of Saturn moving through your second house can kind of bring gifts for your hard work if you've done the work and made the changes, which you probably did because Saturn doesn't really accept anything less. So then you have a full moon in that 10th house. This could signify major changes within your career or life direction. So second house, 10th house, that's kind of a big deal. Then we're going to move into a new moon in your 5th house. This is an area where you could start to hear news about wanting to have children, meeting somebody, starting a new relationship. Maybe you ended a relationship and you're ready to start dating again and get out there. It could be the start of a new habit. It could be, not a hobby. I'm a moron today, excuse me. But it could be a new hobby or an interest or something that you really, really love and adore. There could be a artistic expression here. New moon brings opportunities. What do you want to start? So, that's probably a big moon for you to set some intentions around. That'd be a really good idea. It's kind of a nice area for you. But you're implementing a period of time here where Venus and Taurus are coming through and bringing a lot of changes to your daily activities. It could also affect your job. I see a lot of changes for Sag, and I think Sages are going to be really satisfied with the movement coming up once we finish some of this stuff. Oh, a lot of love. A lot of emotions. There's a journey here towards emotional satisfaction. There's definitely an ending of a cycle here. Queen of Cups in reverse. Right away I see somebody who is not able to accept abundance or love. And so if you or someone else was not emotionally available, that came to an end. If you were not able to accept the sharing of emotions, if you were emotionally cold towards someone or they were emotionally cold towards you, that definitely ended. But it ended, oh my God, just so many cups, Sag. What's happening here? Oh, way too many. Way too many. Yep. Oh, this doesn't even belong. I'm sorry, Sag. It's really early in the morning. Wow. But look at this. Gorgeous. All right, let's talk about this before we clarify a little bit. Here's the theme. There's an end here to a relationship. Now, when I clarify, I'll get a little more information. Oh. Okay, here we go. This is going to be a good one. I can feel it. There was a closing off of emotions and an ending of a cycle. Now, this could be a cycle within a relationship or within a job. But again, this really coincides with all of that going on in your second house of self-worth, self-esteem. You know, there's so many cups here that it feels like emotions are really heavy at play. And we're talking about love here, it feels like. So you came to an end of a cycle. So I don't know if that was recognizing that the way that you're doing things have to change, or recognizing that you have to walk away from someone in order to receive exactly what you deserve. But current situation, Knight of Cups. Whatever cycle ended is leaving you in a place where you are ready. Like I said, that new moon moving into your 5th house, I feel like you're ready. Now, I don't know if you're ready to give a specific person an offer of love. And it's a serious offer. You know, it's not a page. It's not a page offer. So this could be like, do you want to... You're looking for a serious partner here. Something that has the ability to grow and mature. So you're looking for a relationship and not just dating multiple people and getting out in the field, because it is it's an emotion. It's not a want. So it's not like wanting to go out and meet a whole bunch of people and really enjoy being single and playing the field. No. This is more like, all right, I'm going to take this seriously. I want to find that person. And I want somebody that I could share my love and emotions with. That becomes a priority now. And you probably learned that from a situation which didn't work out so well. If this is a work situation, there could be a level here where you were not allowed to exercise your creativity. And that you're looking for something in which you could be a little bit more creative in your day-to-day responsibilities. So, challenge card is a 4 of Cups in reverse. So, I have to clarify why it's in reverse, but there's definitely an issue here with um, a lack of movement, and you may have to embrace boredom and complacency for a little bit longer, because the outcome is the Page of Cups. So something's happening here. There's progress. And the reason why I say that is between the way these cards are laid out. Yeah, there's so many cups. There's just so many cups. Like I said, Sag, this is such a deeply profound and emotional transit that you're going through this first half. And it's really, it may not be about a specific person because you don't know this person yet, but they're coming. And deep-seated change had to occur within you before you would be able to handle this kind of a connection. So if you see, this knight is headed right towards this page, and this page is very ready for this offer and says, I want to offer you my cup too. Now, this person might be a little bit younger than you. There could be a little bit of an age difference here. But the challenge card, you know, you have to accept a level of complacency. Maybe, okay, maybe there's something going on here in which you feel a lot of emotions for a person, but it's not your typical, I have this passion and this need and this drive. There's something different about this situation. Now, you'll know if it's a job or a person. You'll know, but there's something a little bit different than the way that you typically would be attracted to a person or a job situation. You may not even, oh gosh, you may not even feel particularly attracted to this person. And that might be a thing that Sages are working on, where if you're not immediately physically attracted to someone, you completely lose interest. But for some reason, this is telling me that this may not look exciting. This may not look like something a Sag would typically go after. And yet there's an emotional bond here. There's something special that's going to grow from this. And so do not run away from it. Accept that the passion will come after the emotions in this particular situation. Overall energy, 9 of Cups. So it tells me that you're looking directly at your wish fulfillment here. It also tells me that you could feel a little bit emotionally overwhelmed. 9 of Cups can mean so many different things to me. So I kind of just go, I'll know more about that 9 of Cups as we clarify these cards, because there could be a level of overindulgence with the 9 of Cups. There could be a level of holding back and protecting your emotional self due to ego. So let's check this out. Let me get some clarification on this Queen of Cups here. They just want me to cut the cards. Yeah, same typical message for everybody, right? Telling you, March is going to be a big month. And remember, this is only the first 2 weeks, so things could happen. Things could definitely happen these first 2 weeks, but you're going to see the actual physical manifestation of them at the end of the month. Like the things that start to, you may start to plan things now, but they won't actually start to happen until the end of the month. But trust me, things are going to happen. Going back to your past a little bit, there's an energy here of someone, you or someone else, who is emotionally unavailable. And I think it comes from a place of not feeling good enough about themselves. There's a lack of self-love, and so they cannot love other people. You know, that's always so true. It's just one of the biggest universal laws. You cannot love another human being until you love yourself. Now, you could want to possess another human being. You could want to be in control of another human being. You could want to be with another human being, and it may exude the feeling of wanting to love and merge lives together, but it really comes from a place of ego-driven, wanting to achieve, wanting to consume, wanting to own and to have. But there's not actual real love within that unless you really truly love yourself, which is something that Sages have been working on the most through this Saturn-Pluto conjunction, is learning to love and value themselves. So there's a Six of Pentacles, meaning this could be unrequited love, for sure. It could also be not equal give and take. So one person was investing or feeling more in a relationship than the other. This could be your typical Sag situation where you just didn't want the commitment. You enjoyed the company, but you didn't want to make it anything solid or solidified. But it looks like Seven of Swords. Could this person have cheated on you, lied to you, deceived you, stole from you? Yeah, maybe. But I actually see this as you. I see all of this as your energy, and I see that you self-sabotaged yourself. Well, you can't self-sabotage anyone else. That was like the dumbest thing I've said so far today. Yeah, this is definitely you. Or somebody else that ran away from you, ran away from a commitment here, out of fear. Out of fear, you let your thoughts kind of freak you out, and then you thought, I got to get out of this, I can't handle this. Seven of Swords, of course, leading to the Ten of Swords. So someone may have deceived you, or you may have deceived someone, but something happened that really, really put it to an end here. And it really affected you. Okay, so the Eight of Cups, this always does represent a lot of Sagittarius energy to me. Although it's not a card of Sag at all. I do always feel like Sag is that person that's never afraid to go on that journey, to explore the unknown. There's a level of play that Sages bring to experiences. You know, it is the optimism. It is the love of learning, the love of new knowledge and new places that makes a Sag such a beautiful human being. And when the Eight of Cups is in reverse, there's an unwillingness to be that part of you, the unwillingness to be free, to roam. There's a loneliness when that card's upside down. You know, Sag, you could know 100 people in a room. You could talk to people all day, all week, all month, never get off the phone. But you could still be lonely. Because it's a level of what you're willing to invest into the relationships and the experiences. And so the strength upside down, strength in reverse talks to me about not having control over that ego. So there may have been a situation here that really hurt your self-esteem. If this is vice versa, just reverse it. If you're a cross watcher, you know, you get the basic gist of the story, so do what you got to do to understand it, make it fit. But someone here really took a hit to their self-esteem. But I think it made you see a lot of yourself in this situation, and maybe it was something that had to happen to really ignite some form of change in you. Because you go from an energy Queen of Cups, so that's your ability to receive love. And you move into an energy where you're ready to seek love. So you go from a place of not having the strength to go on the journey to clearly you're going on the journey. So there's some kind of a transformation that occurred from this situation. And I think you are on a journey to find your real happiness. And you're willing to be open and vulnerable this time around. You're willing to see all of the potential that can come. This is a major turning point. This is kind of the center card of your reading. So when I questioned that Nine of Cups, bottom of the deck earlier, and I get the Sun card as the center of the deck, you are onto something. You are moving in the right direction. You are aiming for your happiness. And I think you will attain this. If this is a goal, if this is a job, if this is a person, you will ultimately get what you want. But you have to be willing to talk about it. And right now you see it. You know you want to move forward to it, but there's no action at this time. Eight of Wands, it's okay. That's okay because you're not charging at this. This is something, again, I said there's no, that Four of Cups. So let's talk about this Four of Cups in reverse. You have to get comfortable a little bit in the complacency, in the simpleness, in it may feel a little bit boring to you, and you don't want to walk away from it because of that. Hierophant in reverse. This could be a situation in which this person is not going to settle, or this job is not going to settle for anything less than 100% commitment on your part. There is no room for fear of commitment here. So you got to leave that behind. And the Chariot in reverse, you cannot be afraid of the change. You cannot be afraid to make the move. Right now, look at this. You're not taking action, which means the car's not leaving the driveway, which means You're holding on to something for dear life, right? You're holding on to your old ways. Maybe you're afraid. Maybe there's so much love here and it's so intense that you're a little bit frozen. There could be a feeling of, is this too good to be true? You know, that moment right before something really big happens, where you just have to rest and observe. Just like I said, we're observing. We're not making the big decisions. We're not making the offers right now. We're observing and trying to see where all the pieces fit together. And this is what you're doing. But you can't do it for too long, because eventually you're going to know when it's time to make that move. And the challenge card is being afraid to make that move, being afraid to this might be a situation in which you have to actually move in with a partner or change locations for a job, and that could be the scariest part. And you don't want the fear to sit there, because look what happens in this outcome. This Page of Cups, this offer, I mean, for real, you had the 9 of Cups, now you have the 10 of Cups, you have every cup. There is so much love here. I kind of want to be a Sag. Well, I am a progressed Sag moon, so maybe I'll just take this as my... there's so much love here. This is your outcome. You know, this talks to me about the possibility of the babies, the marriage, the happy ever after. There's so much possibility here for real emotional fulfillment. And it comes as soon as you're ready to let go. Let go of the fear of the commitment. Let go of the fear of having to share emotionally with other people. It's a really beautiful energy. Oh my gosh. I think kind of want to cry right now. I'm really emotional. Also, extremely stuffed up. Maybe one of you have a cold, but you could seriously have this back. I don't want it. Let's pull you some animal cards. Let's get you an animal, Sag. I'm seeing a situation here, and this may not be for all of you, maybe just a couple, where somebody met somebody and they were absolutely so frightened by the amount of love that they felt in this situation that they ran away. It was too much, couldn't handle it. Nope. I like my freedom. I like to do what I want when I want. But you lied to yourself. That wasn't at all how you felt. And after a period of feeling, this person was out of your life and you felt very lonely, and you began to explore these emotional needs that you were having to look at for the first time, you had to see that the way that you loved yourself was the way that you could receive love and give love. And so Saturn and Pluto came along and they fixed it. And now my Sag is ready. They are ready, and they know they're ready, and they know there's so much love here, but now they are scared. The baby doe that can't get up on those shaky legs quite yet, but they are quite determined to do so, and they will when the time is right. There you go. I could have done this whole entire 40-minute reading in a minute and a half. I really got to get my shit together, Sag. Now, it's important to take your time and really unfold what the cards are explaining to you. And then once you're done, you can kind of shore it up really pretty. Now, that could be, again, maybe it's not a relationship. This could be a job. Second house is income as well. You may have left a job that you realized you really, really loved. There was an emotional component to it that you really enjoyed, and you know you want back. Ooh. May not be something from your past. I mean, it could be a whole different situation coming in. The only cup you didn't get was the Six of Cups, so I'm not sure if it matters. But it may not be something from the past, but it's definitely, the opportunity is here. Three cards, really sad, as I'm trying to get this moving a little faster. Oh my goodness. Nightingale, Panther, Crow. It's a lot. Let's read them. I haven't read, the Nightingale hasn't come out for me in a long time. You're getting a little bit different cards than everybody else, which is nice because I was tired of reading those cards. Nightingale, fearless voice, speech, communication, or song. The song of the nightingale is otherworldly. The simple brown bird, almost unnoticeable among the flashy plumage of other birds, transports its listener to the realm of poetry. Nightingale energy is with us when we write, compose, and especially when we sing. It reminds us that music heals the deepest wounds. This card indicates a need to open the bridge between the heart and the voice. Is there something you need to say? How long has it been since you sang? Turn it up, write it down, and let it out. This is definitely about going after what you truly, truly want. A couple things I'm getting from this card as well. The nightingale, it's not the prettiest, shiniest bird, right? It's not getting distracted by, somebody who's really hot. This is somebody who holds an internal beauty that you're going after. This is someone that fulfills you emotionally. They're not just shiny and glittery. As well, nightingale sings in the dark, so at dawn. And so I said there is a level of right now where it's always darkest before the dawn, right? We're kind of in that dark, unknowing place. We're just starting to, it's dawn. It's dawn when the nightingale sings. So this might be the timing in which you have to tell somebody how you feel or put something into action. Now I say action because we have the Panther. And the Panther, well, the Panther gets what it wants. Panther, oh, this is so very Mars meets your south node in your second house. Okay. Annihilation of the unnecessary and purging. You're not holding on anymore. The Panther won't stand to see our growth or energy stagnate. Instead, it pounces into our lives and causes all kinds of havoc, with the ultimate intention of bringing us toward more fulfilling lives. It's unexpected, uncomfortable, and sometimes feels devastating. But after all the dust clears, it's easy to see the Panther's wisdom at work. We've all been through these experiences, and they've made us better people. Trust that the Panther's journey always leads to a brighter place. When in balance, brave and productive. When out of balance, self-destructive. And to bring into balance, get rid of the unnecessary. So again, we're talking about that loss. I feel like it was a self-deception. And knowing that you had to go through that in order to, it's kind of like that lesson in contrast. You had to see what you didn't want so that you could know what you do want. So sorry. But yeah, there's like this element here where it's like the phoenix rising. There is an ending in order to form a new beginning within yourself. And that's why I said at the very beginning, Sages, everything's in your first sixth house right now. So there was so much internal change and profound inner wisdom that you had to gain before you took this out into the world, which is the next step. Now the energy of the Crow. Oh my goodness. And I don't know if this is you. I don't, something's telling me this is the energy that you're getting ready to meet or approach, but let's see. I could be wrong. Crow, spiritually strong, creative, and watchful. The crow has long been a symbol of magic. A crow personality is drawn to the supernatural and has a gift for seeing the unseen, knowing the unknown. It is said that the crow holds within its mind's eye the three realities: past, present, and future. Crow energy is potent and should only be tapped into when the mind is clear. Those with a crow tendencies must balance their lives with a healthy diet, joyful friends, and regular self-study. When in balance, you are psychic, strong, and clear. When out of balance, ungrounded and hypersensitive. And bring into balance daily meditation practices. Now, I don't know, maybe this represents somebody that you're getting ready to meet, or this is a person that you find yourself falling in love with, or this is a job that you're looking at. Again, that creativity, but the important part to get from that was when the mind is clear, because that's what the panther did, right? It cleared its mind so that it could see, and it uses that wisdom, it uses the lessons it learned in the past. It knows how to stay in the present and has mastery and control over that area of their life. They don't let the past dictate their future, but they don't make the same mistakes over and over either. There's a wisdom with the crow, a knowing and how to learn and understand the information. All right, Sag, we're at 47 minutes. I don't really need to pull an astrology card for you. This is quite beautiful and profound in itself. I don't feel the need to clarify anything else. Just don't get stuck in the fear and the inaction. Allow yourself to observe these next couple of weeks, and when you know to make the offer or make the move, you will know when. But when you get that gut instinct, follow it, and put that Sag heart to really good use. Go after that next adventure, Sag. That's what this is. It's your next adventure. All right, I'll see you in a couple weeks. Lots of love. Bye-bye.